Hi everyone, welcome to TGIF, your weekly dose of tech Gyan. Today's episode is in continuation to our last week's theme of voice being the new UI. Last week, Shubham Arora from Sarvam spoke about the Samvad platform and the different components of it. This week, we are going to do a deep dive across each of those components so that you get a better understanding of the overall solution. Hi Shubham, thanks for joining TGIF. This session is in continuation to our last week's episode wherein we spoke about the Samvad Conversational platform and the different tools across the platform in terms of Saras, Sarika, as well as the other services. Can you please walk us through these services in detail so that our viewers get a first-hand experience of the capabilities?
For sure, Arvind. Thank you so much for having me again. Let's do this. Let's take a look at one example conversation from the banking domain. Let's take a look at how human-like colloquial these voice agents are across multiple different languages.
കോപ്പറേറ്റീവ് ബാങ്കിൽ നിന്ന് നേഹാണ് വിളിക്കുന്നത്. ഞാൻ താരാജിയോടാണോ സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്?
അതെ, പറയൂ.
താങ്കളുടെ ക്രെഡിറ്റ് ഹിസ്റ്ററി നല്ലതായതിനാൽ കേരള സ്റ്റേറ്റ് കോപ്പറേറ്റീവ് ബാങ്കിൽ നിന്ന് ഒരു പ്രീ അപ്രൂവ്ഡ് വെഹിക്കിൾ ലോൺ തരാൻ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് സന്തോഷമേ ഉള്ളൂ. താങ്കൾക്ക് താല്പര്യമുണ്ടോ?
താല്പര്യമുണ്ട്.
താങ്കൾക്ക് 10 ലക്ഷം രൂപ വരെ ലോൺ ലഭിക്കാൻ എലിജിബിൾ ആണ്. ആവശ്യമെങ്കിൽ വെഹിക്കിളിന്റെ എക്സ് ഷോറൂം പ്രൈസിന്റെ 100% വരെ ലോൺ ലഭിക്കും. ഇത് തുടരാൻ വേണ്ടി താങ്കളിൽ നിന്ന് കുറച്ച് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് ചോദിക്കട്ടെ?
ഓക്കെ, ചോദിച്ചോളൂ.
താങ്കൾ വാങ്ങാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്ന വെഹിക്കിളിന്റെ കമ്പനിയും മോഡലും എന്താണെന്ന് പറയാമോ?
ഞാൻ വാങ്ങാൻ ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത് മാരുതി സെലേരിയോ.
താങ്കൾക്ക് എത്ര ലോൺ വേണമെന്ന് പറയാമോ?
1.5 ലക്ഷത്തോളം വരും.
ലോണിന്റെ ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ് കൺഫേം ചെയ്തതിന് നന്ദി. ലോൺ 1.5 ലക്ഷമാണ്. മാരുതി സെലേറിയോയ്ക്ക് 13 സെപ്റ്റംബർ 2025 അതിനു മുമ്പോ? അത് ശരിയാണോ?
क्या आप हिंदी में बात कर सकते हो?
लोन की डिटेल्स कंफर्म करने के लिए शुक्रिया. लोन 1.5 लाख का है. मारुति सेलेरियो के लिए 13 सितंबर 2025 को या उससे पहले. क्या ये सही है?
हाँ, सही है.
हमारे एग्जीक्यूटिव अगले 2 दिनों में आपसे आगे प्रोसीड करने के लिए कांटेक्ट करेंगे. अगर आपका मन बदलता है या एफडी चाहिए तो केरला स्टेट कोऑपरेटिव बैंक टीम को कांटेक्ट कीजिए. शुक्रिया.
So second, Arvind, let's take a look at the Saras model and what sort of speech recognition capabilities it brings to the table across 11 languages, across code mixed scenarios, across very poor quality audio signals around 8 kilohertz. Take a look at the Saras model in action.
क्या आप हमें मनरेगा योजना के बारे में विस्तार से समझा सकते हैं?
प्रति वर्ष 100 दिनों का रोजगार प्रदान करता है.
गांव वाले किस तरह का काम करेंगे?
सड़क निर्माण, सिंचाई परियोजनाएं और अधिक.
Right, so you see that the audio has a lot of background noise, right? Someone coughing, some tables banging, and so on, right? Additionally, it also mentions a bunch of proper nouns very specific to India, right, in the name of the Manrega scheme, right? So let's see how the model performs, right, in terms of transcribing this audio. Right, so it's already done. You'll see that the model does a very good job at transcribing proper nouns such as Manrega, whilst also filtering out any and all background noise to keep focused on the relevant speech, right? So that.
And then let's also take a look at the Sarvam M chat LLM that powers the Samvad platform that delivers reasoning and thinking capabilities in 11 Indian languages as well. Take a look at what Sarvam M can perform as well.
Folks, today I'm going to be giving you a demo of Sarvam M, right? This is Sarvam's 24 billion parameter open weights large language model built on top of Mistral Small, right? For today's demo, I'll just quickly select one of the preloaded examples, right, which is to code in English, right? So you'll see that the query says Python में एक function लिख के दो जो बताए एक number prime है या नहीं, right? So let's see how the model performs here. So as soon as I put in the query, you'll see that the model goes into thinking mode, right? So it starts to understand all the aspects of what has been said, right? It figures out what the steps need to be to achieve the outcome that has been asked within the original query, and then goes on to formulate a structured response, right? So if required, you can also go and look into how the model has thought through and arrived at this answer. But at the end, you'll also see a full-fledged code block given as an output, along with an explanation as well as example usage, right? So that's a very quick demo of what Sarvam M can do.
Lastly, Arvind, I'd like to show you the Bulbul, which is our text-to-speech model in action, how it delivers human-like speech enunciation with a pre-TTS model that solves for common Indian scenarios like Aadhaar, Abha, special characters, to be able to deliver how a human speaks in all of the 11 languages in a colloquial form factor like most humans speak. Have a look at the Bulbul model in action.
You'll see that it comes pre-filled with 6 voices, right? Each of these voices has a slightly different personality in the way of speaking, different tone, different dialect, right? And it has a good mix of male and female voices. We can also select the language within which we want the voice to be speaking up, right? For now, I've chosen Hindi and selected one input already. So I'll just go ahead and generate the output so that you guys get a sense, right, of what the model can do. The output is ready. Let me go ahead and play it as well.
नमस्ते, क्या आप अपना आभा आईडी बनाना चाहेंगे? आप आभा कार्ड अपने आधार आईडी से भी बना सकते हैं। आभा से 140 करोड़ भारतीयों को 5 लाख तक का स्वास्थ्य बीमा मिलेगा। bdm.gov.in पर जाकर या *14# डायल करके अपना आभा बनाएं।
Right, so you'll see that the model is able to understand how to pronounce words such as Abha or Aadhar, right, which are very specific to the Indian context, and probably most ETS models may not be able to pronounce them as well, right? Further, the model also understands that while the sentence is in Hindi and just the numbers are in English, it needs to say 140 crore or it needs to say 5 lakh. The model also comes with a bunch of additional parameters, which I'm just highlighting on screen here, right? So you can sort of tweak the pitch, pace, loudness of the voice being said, right? You can put in the sampling rate at which you want the audio output to be. Furthermore, you can also specify a parameter known as enable pre-processing, right? So let's say you have some very nuanced symbols, right? Some hashtags and so on. Just by simply taking this checkbox, you should be able to handle those cases as well.
Thanks, Shubham, for these insightful details. Summarizing, voice is redefining the way we interact with technology, making the experience much more faster and human-centric. For more details on the Sarvam platform, log into the Azure platform and check out the details. See you next week. Till then, bye-bye.